welcome to Random Fandom Chats. I'm Tandra.
I'm Dee Dee.
And this is Annabeth. And we basically talk about pretty much anything and everything related to sci-fi and fandom.
Fantasy,
It could be books, comics, toys, video games, whatever.
TV shows.
And TV shows. Our resident expert we brought back again is Derek Edwards from White Rabbit Books. Because today's topic is Dark Shadows, which is back in the 60s. And as we actually know more about this one than we did the last one.
Yeah, because we've actually watched quite a bit of this.
Yeah, but most shows that go farther back in the 70s, our knowledge is a little less as good, so we like to try to bring Derek once in a while to kind of help
someone
us
who's
out.
actually there. No, I'm actually serious, but I literally grew up watching Dark Shadows. At age 4, I had a babysitter who watched Dark Shadows, and so I literally grew up watching the show.
Well, I think this actually came out the year you were born.
67, yeah. Well, it's actually been since 66. It started in 66.
Yeah.
And then,
like right before you were born.
Yeah, and so I never saw it until I became an adult. I mean, I was way up there before I saw it. I think the show's great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of shows from back in the 60s, you're like, oh, they're cheesy or they're campy or this. And
well, this has its own campiness to it.
It does, but it's okay.
Right.
I'm afraid that some people might go, oh, Dark Shadows. I saw that stupid movie with Johnny Depp.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know why they did that. Because that...
Right, they took it way campy. Now, okay, Dark Shadows in of itself can be a little bit campy just because it's old, but it wasn't really campy.
Well, again, their campaign, their advertising campaign, didn't say we're spoofing the show. We're not trying to make a serious Dark Shadows movie. They did actually make a Dark Shadows movie in the 70s based on the original series.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
There were two of them. There was Night of Dark Shadows and House of Dark Shadows.
Yeah, I haven't seen either one of those.
And basically, the first movie just retold the Barbas Collins story, and the second one concentrated on their other big star, which was a character called Quentin, who was a werewolf. And
now, for those of you who don't know what Dark Shadows is, just in case you haven't really heard much about it, it's actually a soap opera show, which a lot of it's kind of the only one that was really science fiction. There might have been one other one that was science fiction-y based. I can't remember. I thought there was one other one.
Maybe I don't.
But this is like the only one that was really kind of science fiction horror based. All the rest of them are set in real lives of today's characters and people, or the time period they're set in. And this one had a supernatural thing to it. It had, as we were talking about, vampires, werewolves, and ghosts, and all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, when it first started, the producer, was that Quinn Martin? I'm trying to remember. I can't think of it. Quinn Martin, but
yes,
I think it was. Well, anyway,
no,
you're right.
No. It was
Dan Curtis.
Dan Curtis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dan Curtis started the series. He wanted to do a gothic horror thing, and their first storyline was the ghost story about a woman they called the Phoenix, and the ratings were just abysmal. They were just nobody was watching it. And according to legend, his daughter said, "Daddy, you need a vampire."
Vampires are really popular.
Even in the 60s, yeah.
Yeah, they've always been, I think.
So he created this whole new storyline with Barnabas Collins, a 175-year-old vampire.
Which is a great storyline when they go and pull him out, of the family tomb and stuff and all that. I mean, it's just great. Where he comes from and how he does that. Well, and I even like the first, the ones that didn't have the very good ratings. I even like that storyline.
The Phoenix,
Yeah, that's.
I thought it was an interesting saga, and it actually kind of pulled some of the characters together, for later. So we kind of found out, more about where they came from and some other stuff, and it pulled in some other things later on in the show, which I thought was really cool.
One of the things they never really went into to the extent I would have liked, and rewatching them later, he had this whole thing because it was the Adventures of Victoria Winter. She was brought in to be a governess, to the boy David,
Collins.
yes. And she was an orphan. She didn't know anything about her past. She'd grown up in an orphanage, so she was kind of this lost soul. And in the first season, they keep giving hints that she's actually related to the Collins family.
Or at least important to the Collins in some way, shape, or form.
And she might be some kind of long lost
And they couldn't just
relative.
drop it.
Well, they even had a scene because there's a painter in the town, and she goes to his cottage and sees a picture that he painted years ago that looks a lot like her.
Right.
So you could possibly be like her mother or something.
Exactly.
And again, they just completely dropped it.
And
Yeah.
they never can.
It's
Eventually,
really weird.
she left the show. The actress left the show.
Well, she
and-
wanted to have her baby
Yeah.
and be a mother, and that was cool. But it was okay by the time she left the show because the show was doing some other direction with some stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And-
focusing as much on her.
Right, and it worked out pretty well. I think some of the storylines.
I would
did.
have liked to have known myself.
Yeah, I know. Just the
Right.
fact that they sort of. Well, and some soap operas do that. You know,
Yeah.
they'll start on a tangent for a while and then
They'll just
kind
forget
of go on
about
something
it.
else.
Well, and of course, their built-in plot complicated is that we can come back to any time later, 20 years from now, we can pick up on this again.
Which I suppose they could have.
Unfortunately, they didn't last that long.
Yeah, they didn't last that long. The show was like what 4 years, 5 years.
Let's see, it went from 66 to 72.
Right. So
yeah.
yeah. What is that? 5 years? 6 years.
Mathematics there.
Almost 6 years. Yeah. Great. Almost 6 years. So that's actually a pretty long run for something that, I mean, obviously it's not a general hospital or something that's been on forever, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean that's not a bad run.
I
Really.
think one of the reasons it failed is its last season they still had the same cast, of course, but they got rid of the character Barnabas. He was playing a different character.
Really?
Yes, they.
Yeah, we haven't got that far yet.
Oh.
No, we hadn't.
Maybe I shouldn't tell you.
we don't mind spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, they basically kind of concluded everything. He'd gotten cured of being a vampire finally. Everything was happy. And the cameras just kind of went through the hallway to a door that's supposed to be they get through into time and dimensional travel. So there is a science fiction aspect to this
Okay.
one. And the camera goes through the door, and the narration talk about how, but in other realities there are other Collins Woods, and in other Collins Woods there are still dark shadows, and the whole cast is there, but they're all playing all new characters. He wasn't a vampire, and I think it just killed the show.
Well,
Nobody
they've
liked
done
it.
that with some of them we've watched.
Well,
but
they've gone back in time.
They've gone back in time before, and there is time periods in which other people are
Oh, yeah.
playing different
Like
characters.
ancestors,
Yeah.
and whatnot, which I think is really kind of interesting.
I do too. I think that's kind of cool.
That was strictly to save money. No new actors needed.
Right. I think that's kind of cool. It was interesting. They did have a famous actress, the Mrs. Collins. She was famous at the time.
She had gotten blacklisted. This was the first thing she'd done in quite a while because she had gotten blacklisted, not because of political things, but she was. I try to remember.
It had something to do with her daughter?
Yeah, her daughter had murdered a crime boss or something.
Something.
She'd been involved with
It was like her husband, or ex-husband, or something.
I'm trying to remember. I thought her daughter had been involved with like a mafioso or something,
No,
and then
something.
supposedly one of them had possibly murdered. But it just made her like Hollywood poison. Nobody wanted to touch her.
Right, and
So.
it is interesting because the show, of course, being done in the '60s, was filmed live. So when you watch it, you see all the mistakes,
all the
the set moving, boom mics, people
Yeah.
messing up their lines and trying to cover.
Make it wonderful, being that the time it takes place, the stuff in there in the past, watch people's sideburns go up and down, up and down. From day to day, the sideburns are different lengths every time.
Yeah, so obviously there was, and being filmed live and doing 5 days a week, that there's a lot of pressure going
That's
on
a
there.
lot of lines to remember.
There's a lot. I mean, it was only 20 minutes long or 20-some minutes long because,
Commercial
commercials.
breaks, yeah.
But that's a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
a lot to do.
Yeah, especially when you have the makeup and the costume changes and the other things they have to deal with. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there.
It's pretty amazing, actually. You think, I couldn't do that. I mean,
It'd
could
be
you?
tough,
Could
yeah.
you like daily remember a script? Okay, tomorrow I've got to do these lines, and then
No,
we're going to do it all over
that'd
again
be
next
a
I
day.
little
can't,
all
I
the
can't even
lines.
remember what I had for lunch yet. It's like, no, I cannot remember all those complicated lines.
So it's definitely a fun show to pick up and watch. It's got some interesting concepts in it. I mean, sometimes the acting isn't the best, and obviously the special effects are
No,
practically
yeah.
non-existent. But it is interesting. Some of the storylines are kind of fun, and the characters, you gotta get involved in the characters like you do with most soap operas. You want to know what's going on with them. And
I remember a scene that just scared me to death when I was a kid, and a gypsy was raising a zombie, and she's doing the chant, and you're hearing her voice echoing, and they're showing the grave, and then all of a sudden you just see this hand come up out of the ground, and oh my! I probably ran shrieking from the room if I remember.
They did some really good graveyard scenes.
Yeah.
I thought they did.
They did a lot
I
with the
love the
graveyard.
Collins. Collinswood graveyard. Because the Collins family, of course, have been there forever and had their family crypt and mausoleums and whatnot and everything. And I love the stuff they did in the graveyard.
The secret room that Barnabas is
Yes.
in,
Which is way cool.
Have you gotten to the point where they've explained why there was even a secret room in the tomb?
Did they explain that in any of them we've watched?
They did eventually.
I know that they put Barnabas in there because it was a secret room, but no.
But
I
why
don't
they
think
built it, I'm not sure.
They used it to store guns for the
Oh,
Revolutionary
yeah,
Army.
That's right,
They
that's
were
right,
they were
that's right.
supporters
They did
of the
mention that.
Revolution. Yeah, and I thought that was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, say why they had this secret room in there.
Yeah, they did. I do remember that now.
Yeah, so I mean, if you love secret passageways, secret rooms,
Yeah.
If you
they
like
got
this
this beautiful.
kind of creepy stuff, it's a great show.
They got this mansion that they show a little bit more of at times. I mean, they have
Yeah.
basically 3 rooms they show mostly, but,
Yeah.
but they every once in a while go a little bit farther and show some other stuff, so you can kind of have a nice little imagination with their house and stuff. So and I love the old house that they end up remodeling and doing stuff with, and so if you like that kind of stuff, it's definitely worth picking up and
It
watching.
is.
Now, there was a character on it. She was on for at least 2 seasons, I think. Her name was Amy, and she was the little girlfriend they brought in for David.
Yeah.
And her character and her older brother, who is supposed to be one of them, as he's the original werewolf on the show before Quentin comes into it. They leave the show very abruptly while Barnabas is in the past doing something. He comes back and they have disappeared, and they give no real
Yeah, I
explanation
sure
why.
remember that. They just kind
Yeah,
of
they just
vanished
kinda,
from the TV show.
I can't speak for the brother, but the little girl played Amy. She got offered the job to play the
Is
chewing
it
gum.
Willy Walker?
Yeah, the chewing girl. I can't think of her character's name. Something Beauregard.
The blueberry.
Yeah, she turns into the blueberry, but that was like a big move for her, and she thought that was going to be her big step into,
Which it could have
movies.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she did 3 or 4 other films, but nothing much. But
Nothing major.
that's why she left the show. I found out.
Yeah, but so definitely pick it up and watch it and leave any comments or memories you have of it. That'd be great for us to hear.
And if you haven't seen it, find it, watch it. Don't judge it by the Johnny Depp film.
don't watch the new stuff and go, oh, that must be what
Yeah.
that old show's like.
They-
I
Don't
believe
do that.
Hulu has it on right now.
They
Does
did
it?
do.
I think it's in Hulu or Netflix. One of them, I believe, has it.
They did try to relaunch it in the late '80s, Dark Shadows, and they're trying to do it the exact same way, but it just didn't.
I actually
didn't
watched
take.
that.
Did you?
I did watch that. I watched like the first few
Was
episodes
it
of
good?
it. It was okay.
Yeah, it's.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
It was-
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe they just didn't update it enough
I
for
think
the 80s.
I think the biggest problem, it was too slick. I think the
Didn't have the aura and the
yeah,
gothic look.
there's
to it.
something about the almost amateur quality of
Yeah.
the live TV that
makes it worth watching.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Some of that stuff actually makes it good and not bad. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're ready to pick out our next topic for next time. Derek, grab a handful and Dee
Okay,
will.
sample. Okay, and who?
Dee's gonna
And-
grab it.
all right.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to. I get it.
I just picked the one at the top.
Okay, we'll toss the rest back
Okay, there you go.
for some other time.
All right, let's see what we got here. Princess Leia.
Oh, that's a fun topic. We definitely enjoy talking about her. So, if you like us, please subscribe and please leave any comments and tell all your friends about us.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.